are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Asia Pacific webinar. My name is Ian Kingwell. I'm a senior manager based on the New South Wales Central Coast at the place called The Entrance, together with my wife, and we have our Asia Pacific webinar every Sunday. So thank you for joining us, giving up your time to come along, listen to us talk to somebody, get some fantastic tips and hints from various people. And we have a very, very special guest, and she has something really interesting to talk to you about tonight. And I'm joined by my special friend Kate Armstrong, who is a manager in Christchurch, one of the leaders over there in New Zealand. So good evening, Kate. Welcome aboard tonight.
Hi, Ian. Great to be here on this call tonight. Really looking forward to chatting to you too, Shan.
Yes, it'll be a great little chat tonight, and probably lends in a little bit with the gentleman we had on last week about his Four Colours book and so forth, about how we relate people to various colours and things like that. I've had the pleasure of being with Tom Schreider this week and weekend, and it's been fantastic, and I've learned so much. And we have the lovely Shan Lawson on tonight. She lives on the New South Wales Central Coast. She is actually a customer of ours and send out cards, and I met her at a networking group I think one day, and she's become a great friend, and she's a lady full of knowledge. And we're going to talk to you about a topic tonight called spiral dynamics, and it's just an interesting thing about how you relate to various people with their colours and where they are in their life and things like that, and how we can actually use our greeting cards to complement what we do. So good evening, Shan. Welcome along tonight.
Wow, that was good timing. I just lost my internet connection. It said you've got no audio, you've got no internet, trying to re-establish, and I just re-established it in time for you to say welcome. I should have not said anything and just gone, hello, Ian.
Look, it's meant to be, so we've got you on. So hopefully you've had a fantastic weekend as well, Shan, and looking forward to having a chat to you tonight. And as we always do, we might get you to tell us a little bit about your story. You call yourself your accountability buddy, and you do several other things, and what your background is and what you actually do, and then we'll get on to spiral dynamics. So take it away, Shan.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Shan Lawson, as Ian gave me that lovely introduction, I'm sure. My background, I've worked for years and years and years in marketing and public relations. About 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to, boost up my professional development and personal knowledge, so I went and did a coaching course, and that covered all. I'm a master practitioner of NLP and a master practitioner of hypnotherapy, but I'm not going to give you any embedded commands or make you do anything weird, don't worry. So I'm a professional coach as well, and my joining together of my love of marketing with the psychology behind what makes people tick is something I absolutely adore, and one of my favorite things, one of my favorite tools is spiral dynamics. And Ian and I were having a chat one day, because I live here on the beautiful Central Coast as well, and we were having a chat one day, and I just actually did the finger click thing and said, you know what, spiral dynamics would be a great thing to talk to your guys about, because there is just so many levels that you can use it when you're sending cards out to prospects or working with people that are in your downline. So I love this, and I really hope you guys get as charged as I do after we go through this. So that's me.
So what is spiral dynamics? Tell us in something we can understand, not complicated terms, something fairly simple. Tell us what it's all about.
Okay, spiral dynamics was actually it's a process of thinking. It was developed by a psychologist named Claire Graves. He's an American psychologist, and he came up with these levels of thinking, or levels of ways of being. They're different value systems in people's lives, and you start down in the bottom of the spiral, and your aim as you grow and expand in your thinking and the way you live your life and the way you interact with other people, you move up the spiral. Down the bottom there being beige is the first level, and you're moving all the way up through to turquoise. Those are just the colours assigned, but amazingly, when you know this stuff and you start looking around in the world, in marketing and different corporations, different colours, you will see how brilliantly these colours have been ingrained in us and reflect on our life as we go through. if something happens to you in your life, if you're working your way up the spiral and you're chugging along pretty nicely and you've reached that orange stage, and something really, drastic happens in your life, say your marriage breaks down or something terrible, you may spiral back down and you'll have to move back up. So all people are moving up and down through the spiral, and this will all make more sense to you as we go, throughout their lives in different areas of their life. But yeah, as I said, as we go through it, this will make more sense.
So just a little question there. Could it relate to your confidence, your self-esteem, yeah, just those sort of things? Is that what we're trying to talk about? Your mindset? Do you have a positive mindset? Do you have goals and things like that? Or are you relating to why you're doing certain things and stuff as well?
All of those things come into play and move you up the spiral. The stronger you get in your self-assurance and the way you interact with others and the way that you help others and the way you interact on the world and give back to the world moves you higher up through the spiral. So yes.
So I guess when we start and send out cards, I'm a new distributor and I'm beige because I really don't know what I'm doing and I don't have that confidence, and when I want to get to the very top, I'm an eagle and I'm top of the ladder and I'm very, very successful, and I'm that light blue. Would that be exactly what you're trying to talk about? So we've got
exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. You've got a basis of understanding, yeah, a reference point.
Yeah, so as we go, we start and send out cards, so we've got to get an understanding of what it's all about. We've got to learn the skills, we've got to develop those skills, and we've got to go to things like we went to on the weekend with our Super Saturday with Big Al and learning more skills to make us better and more confident and that type of thing.
Yep, perfect example.
Yep. So, okay. Kate, have you got a question just there? Yeah, anything there?
Well, I was just going to ask Shan, so how many levels are there? Obviously, how many colours have you got? There 8 or so? So
8,
starting... Okay, so starting from the bottom, are you able to go through and give us examples for each of those levels so that we can maybe have a discussion on them? And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
So we'll get going on the first level, and I'm sure everybody has heard that term that says, don't be beige. Nobody wants to be beige. No one wants to blend in so much that, they look like part of the wall. So I put my little sheep there because although being part of a group is a good thing, you don't want to be so beige that you don't stand out, you don't interact, and you don't make any difference whatsoever. So level 1 in spiral dynamics is just survival. You're just trying to get by. Your main focus is in your whole life is putting food on the table and keeping a roof over your head. So when someone is brand new in a business, they're not looking at the cleverest ways of doing stuff. They're like, I just need to get to the end of the week. I just need to sign up some people, or I just need to make some money, or I just need to find somebody who's interested in what I'm doing, because they're just all about survival. So that's a very, very, very basic level that everybody starts at, but it's so far down the spiral that I'm thinking that people, when they start out in business, this isn't even a consideration. It just is the first step on the spiral dynamic model, so I've put it there. But most people are already probably starting out at level 2 because most people have their basic needs of food, water, roof over their head kind of covered, if that makes sense.
Could I just come back to the send out cards example? Yesterday I was talking to a couple of people after the Super Saturday, and there were people that had been in send out cards for probably 12 months and weren't doing anything. They weren't going forward. They were virtually what you would call survival. They were just treading water, I would call them.
Yep.
Would you call those the sort of people there that need to start bettering themselves and start making decisions how they want to get out of that situation, survival mode? You and I talked previously about those people that you're just talking about roof over their head and food and money and stuff like that. They're the ones that are in, the bank's going to take over their house or something like that. So if you put it in that terms, these people are in the same situation. They're going to walk away from send out cards at some point unless they start taking action. Would that be the sort of person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would still put them a little bit higher than beige, because this just to give you an idea of how far down the spiral you are when you're here. You're probably not even thinking about business because all you're trying to do is survive. It really is the most basic instinct level of human and animal kind of place you can be. It really is. It's a tough place to be at level 1.
So it's almost that level of desperation, isn't it? You're just well and truly stuck.
Completely.
Well,
Yeah, and that's all you can focus on, not even focusing on business, just I've got to eat. Really?
Yeah, these people I spoke to with yesterday, they were sort of in that situation where they just didn't know where to go with their send out cards, how to take it forward. So that's why I think they're in the same predicament. And just one other question. When we spoke earlier before we did this call, you were talking that we could actually use these colours with the sort of cards we could possibly use with that person. How would you send a card to somebody like this? What sort of card would you send to them?
Well, the cool thing about spiral dynamics is that you want to, through your interactions, you want to be moving up the spiral, but you also want to help other people engage so they move up. So it kind of a, carrot in front of the donkey kind of way. You would send cards that are the colours of the next level up. So you're kind of giving them the guidepost of the next place for them to be. So you wouldn't send them beige cards because they're in beige. You would start to look at the next colours up and things that are going to spark something in them that's going to get them stuck out of that stuck place they're in to want to move forward, to want to something better for themselves.
So just a question there. We've had somebody on before who's encouraged laughter, and taking it another way, would it be they're the survival person? Would it be worthwhile sending them a card with a silly joke on it to make them smile? Is that the sort of thing you're talking about as well?
I would probably save that for a level 2 person because I think anyone that's at this level couldn't even see the funny side at the moment. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
So as I said, I don't think many people, even the start outs or even the stuck people, are in this level. I think most people, even if they're stuck, are starting out in level 2.
Yep. Okay. Do you want to move on to the next one, Shan?
Sure. Yeah. So here we are. Level 2, purple. So level 2, I truly believe most of the population, regardless of where they think they are in the spiral, are at this level. That's how big the spiral is. Most people are at level 2, and it's very, very tribal. They want a sense of belonging, they want a sense of connection, but they're also the group, and please, I just want to say this up front, anything I say is not meant to offend. It's a level of thinking, and I've had a long time to play with this stuff, so I might sound a little bit abrupt sometimes, but just, I guess, take that on board when you hear what I'm saying. That being said, level 2 people are all about the universal forces sort of guiding their way for them. They're all about good luck, excuse me, good luck charms. There's good and bad luck. There's synchronicity. They're very into statements like that was meant to be. If all the traffic lights went green today and they didn't have a car accident, then the universe lined all that up for them. They're very into assigning meaning to stuff that's outside of their control. And I think a lot of people are in that place. They go and see psychics, and they like to outsource their good luck and their future and the things that happen to them to forces outside of their control. Does that make sense?
It does. So would they be a person in send out cards? Really, we talk about it's your own business. You're in business for yourself, by yourself, but you have people helping you and your team helping you. So would they be really suited to a network marketing type of business, because they're saying that the outside forces are going to make them happen when we really have to do our own things to be successful?
Yes, they are, because they just need to be shown that it's possible, that when you're talking before about people that don't have belief in themselves, they're not confident enough, this is the level I believe they're at. They're thinking other people are better than me, so I'll have to rely on the universe providing for me, or I'll do this until I win lotto. They're that kind of thinking. When I win lotto, I'll be able to walk away from my business and just do all the stuff, rather than setting goals to get to those wonderful things they'd have if they won lotto and making them happen for themselves. They're
So they're probably not leaders, is that what you're trying to say there?
Not yet.
Yeah.
They're down the bottom of the spiral, and they need to work their way up. But
So,
the kinds of cards, sorry, yeah?
I was just going to say, Shan, it's probably, like you were saying before, this is most probably the level that most people would start off and send out cards. You know, it's all very new. You're not quite sure how to move forward with it. So I suppose, you know, we look at a lot of self-development with send out cards as well. You know, we're always encouraged to read and what have you. And I suppose that's a good starting point for us to start developing our self-confidence in terms of showing those signs of leadership moving forward.
Yeah. And in terms of anybody that's come across this for the first time, and you know, these are probably people that haven't even made the decision yet to come in to send out cards. These are people that you're interacting with and, you know, having conversations with and sending cards to get them interested. They're going to be very much I just wanted you to be mindful that a large percentage of the population is at this level. So you would use, you know, because purple is all magical. It's, you know, it's Merlin, it's magician, and that's how ingrained it is. It's from that far back that we associate this colour with magic and making things happen. So if you had someone coming in for the first time and they didn't know about it and you weren't really sure what to send them, I would send them stuff in this purple magical kind of way, and I would use light magical kind of language.
So give me what do you mean by language?
A really good sentence for a level 2 person is, have you ever done this? Have you ever just been in the zone and, you know, the world just disappeared, or you were so into what you were doing? I did this the other day. I worked 7 days straight because I was so in the zone. In the zone is very level 2 kind of language. They know what it's like to be in that zone.
Okay.
So you would kind of use that language around them. Like I said, magic, making things happen. They want to be part of a community and they want to be perceived that they're giving back to their community, but they're actually not. They want to be part of a community, but they want community to do for them. So if I was sending cards to somebody for the first time or trying to get them interested, I would be very heavy on using language about the community of send-out cards and the assistance of send-out cards and the backup that you have and all the people around to give you a big warm hug and keep you, and you're part of the family, that you were just going to light up the neural pathways of a person that's at a level 2 kind of stage in their business. Does that make sense? Am I rambling?
Yeah,
or does that make sense?
No, makes sense.
No, that's great.
Good.
If anybody's got any questions, please type them in as we're going. So do you want to go to the next one, Shan?
Yeah, cool.
Unless Kate's got something else?
No, that's great. We'll just move forward.
I think I've seen people like this without even looking at that.
So level 3 ego is where you want to actually start moving people, because I said the majority are in level 2 waiting for everything to happen for them, and you need to fire up their ego. You need you need to engage the grr in them, because the grr is the thing that makes the decision to purchase. So moving someone from it was a sign and the universe is lovely and it's all wonderful to, damn it, I'm going to give this a go. Damn it, I'm going to give it a go is a complete level 3 person. You know they've reached level 3 when they're starting to go, I'm going to get into this. I'm really going to give it a go. So, and the red colour, I mean, if you have a look around at powerful companies, and as I said, you'll start to notice this now. You'll be driving around tomorrow noticing colours like you've never noticed them before. But red is always very strong, very powerful, and I think most people know that.
So if I was talking to a new prospect, would that be a person that's almost bouncing off the wall, full of energy and, yeah, let's get going type of thing? Yeah, I'm into this. I can see this happening. And Kate and I can probably think of somebody recently that could be that sort of person.
That's probably still a level 2, believe it or not.
Okay.
They're excited, they're bouncy, and they're like, it sounds, you know, but they probably bounce here to there. A level 3 is much more, their archetype is a bully. They're a straight shooter, you know, and their mindset is, it's a jungle out there and everyone's out there to get me and somebody's going to screw me, so I'm going to screw them before they get a chance. That is the mindset of a level 3.
Could it also, okay, so going a little bit further there have been people, and I've seen them in other companies and our company, that they come in and they're the white knight. They're the one that knows everything, and what they do is the way we should all do it. And then they disappear because they're not the true leaders. They're just a shining light, I'll call them, a shooting star. Is that?
Yep, absolutely. That's a level 3 going into a level 4. So they're all about opinion, and they think everybody's judging them. But that is the point, because a level 2 person will never purchase. I've got to tell you, a level 2 person thinks everything's a great idea, but you have to fire them up and get their ego going for them to go, all right, you've convinced me. Damn it, I'm going to give this a go.
Mm-hmm.
And so language is around trust, and colours are around red.
Okay. So what do you mean by trust? Go on, Kate.
Oh, sorry, Ian. I was just going to say you can be quite straightforward with an ego. So ask them the direct question, and you should get
You'll know when you have one in front of you.
Response.
Yeah. So you can say something to them. If you're anything like me, you're bombarded all the time with different messages, and quite frankly, I'm really tired of it. I want the new. I want the, you want something new. You want something that's going to cut through all the, can I say bullshit? Because I just did. This is what you're saying to them. It's like you're sick. There's so much stuff out there all the time. Don't you just want to cut through and get to the point and make stuff happen? And they'll be going, yes. There you go. You've got a level 3, you've got an ego, you've got a red in front of them. And if you can talk to them on that level, they'll go, sign me up, I want to know. I want in because I want to cut through. I'm sick of all these people trying to manipulate me all the time. People are trying to sell me stuff all the time. I'm sick of being sold to. I want something that's going to work, that's going to get me a result.
Beautiful. So you got any more, Kate? We'll move on to the next one.
No, that's great.
It's fascinating, actually, listening to this. So the authority person.
Authority is this is all government level. This is banks. All banks and government and schools and stuff are level 4. So again, I said when you start looking at the colours, if you'll notice all the big banks, the colonial mutuals are red and blue, the ANZ's blue. You'll see this all around. Level 4 is authority, and it is one level up the spiral. But you'll know you're talking to a level 4 person because everything is right or wrong. There is no in between with a level 4. So you can actually kind of challenge them sometimes. The kinds of messages I would send them in a blue card would be, is this right or wrong? I was talking to someone and they said, it's this way, what do you think? They'll be dying to tell you what they think. They love to tell you what they think. They're all about, I have the right answer and I just can't wait to pass it on, my wisdom. Oh.
Brilliant. I love that.
So a question there, authority, is the traditional person that's going to have a job, and I'm thinking the banks and you said schools and things like that. And network marketing is something different. It's stepping outside the zone. Would they be stepping outside their comfort zone to come to a company like Send Out Cards or any other network marketing company? Would they find it a little bit difficult, or what's your thoughts there?
I think, so if you're talking to someone who's been in corporate, you would talk to them immediately at this kind of level 4 authority. But how I would break through to them is say something like, don't make the same mistake I made. I spent years stuffing around doing something else, and then I just found this and went straight through. And they, in the back of their mind, they're going, ha, you made a mistake. You took the long way. I wouldn't do that. I know, I would do it right straight away because they're all about the right. So the way you would speak to a level 4 coming out of corporate and talking about this kind of business is, don't make the same mistakes I did. I can tell you, you do X, Y, Z. You follow it step by step. They love the step by step. If you follow these steps, you will be a success. And they're like, sign me up. How do we get more of step by step? Step by step are their favourite words in the world because it's levels and it's structure. They love structure.
So they love systems. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my God, yeah, big time.
Yeah, very black and white.
Yeah.
Very black and white. So if you follow the system, you cannot mess this up. You cannot make a mistake, because to a level 4, making a mistake is the most horrendous thing in the world. So if you say, follow the system, and you'll be fine. They're fine.
Brilliant.
So and you'll notice when somebody has been in the business a while, and then this is when they are starting to move up to become a leader, because they're not more about leaving it to the outside forces, and they're over their cynicism of everyone's just trying to get me. They're now, what are the steps I need to put in place to make this happen?
So you said a leader, do they start to take more control of their business and their team and things like that? Is that what happens?
Definitely, definitely. But they also have, as I said, a fear of making a mistake. So you need to demonstrate to them that you can, if something doesn't quite work, you don't throw the whole system out. It's not always black and white. So, you have to demonstrate ways that you can, in quotes, stuff it up, and you still get the result. And that will appease that part of them going, what if I make a mistake? Because then they get stuck.
Yeah. We've had a few hiccups in Australia just for various reasons, and I won't go into that, but there's been a few people that have been a bit frustrated. Would they be in that blue category because things weren't going right for them and things weren't happening the way they wanted it to? Is that what you're trying to say there as well?
You know what? This is my personal opinion. I still think that's level 2 thinking.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah. It's going back down to sort of almost tantrum throwing. So
and look,
level 4 is taking more responsibility, but still being very, very scared about making a mistake, because it's schools, isn't it? It's like, if you do this the right way, you'll get the tick, you'll get the smiley face, you'll get the A.
yeah.
That's how we've been schooled and brought up, that you're either right or you're wrong. You either pass or you fail. So a level 4 for them to move up in the business and for them to move up in the spiral, you need to demonstrate to them that there are grey areas as well, and you can get things wrong and you're not going to crumble and fall and fail and throw the whole thing out.
Yeah.
So really perhaps what you're saying there, Shan, is even though they're wanting to be a person of authority, they still lack a little bit of confidence in showing that absolute true leadership.
Yeah, because they feel like if I'm up the front and now people are following me, what if I get it wrong? That's just terrifying to them. So they need someone else to show them the way to go. You can have people follow you and stumble and you get back up and you're still okay, and you actually created something better out of it, or you did this from it, because that's the most terrifying thing for them, is to be the one at the front and getting it wrong.
Yeah. So it really is a path, isn't it? Every step is a part, is part of the journey of getting to where you want to be, because it would be fair to say, we all want to have the confidence to be leaders, or to stand up, and even if it's just from taking sort of home-based meetings, for example, there's still that element of, self-doubt when you're first starting out, and so it is a journey of getting that confidence within yourself to stand up and be that leader.
Definitely, and you have to fall down and scrape your knees to get to that point. Nobody, even if they come out of corporate, doesn't jump into level 4. They can't, and that's why I said to you, I think most people start at level 2 going, okay, I'm in the community, but I'm searching for this. I want to get back to that place where there's the step-by-step program for someone to help me. So they're searching for the 4, but I think nearly everybody starts at the 2.
and I think you should comment about those people who probably chuck the odd tantrum and go back really a level 2, they're not a level 4. That's probably really says what some of those people were that I was talking about, because they were just having a bit of a sook more than anything about the situation, and weren't being proactive and positive.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
Yep, the optimistic orange.
Oh, look, I made it to halfway.
I love it. You've done well. You've done really well.
So level 5 is where you need to aspire to. These are true leaders in your in your whole place. Ian's a level 5. I mean, optimism out the bloody window. I mean, he's just insanely optimistic all the time. So Ian is definitely a level 5.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And this is where you need to be, and then you need, when you're talking to your downline, you need to incorporate the language of all the other levels so that whoever you're talking to can kind of glob onto the bit that they recognize in themselves. So a level 5 person is a definite entrepreneur. You know, and as I said, it's just optimism. They've moved past that. When something's gone wrong, they're not showing it on the outside, and they're not letting it bring them down. It's not right or wrong. They know that there are just multiple colours of the rainbow, not just grey. There's all sorts out there, and that's where a level 5 person has got themselves to.
So speaking with people like that,
Yep.
you don't really want to be on the negative side. And those sort of people don't like negative people or don't appreciate negative people as much because they're only going to bring them down and they'll move on and that sort of stuff. Is that what you're talking about as well?
No, that's probably still a level 4. A level 5 won't enjoy hanging out with people bringing them down, but they will try and bring them up. Because to a level 5, there is a way. There is always a way. There's a better way to do stuff. They are completely results focused. They want to win, and they will always find a way to get a result. And you are right, they do want to hang out with people that are also results oriented. So they will give you time, you know, 1 or 2 or 3, maybe 4 times and give you help. But if you don't do anything with it, if you stay at level 2 going, I need help, I need help, I need help, and a level 5 gives you help, and you went back and said, did you do that? Nah. Did you think about it? Nah. I didn't do anything. There is only so much optimism and love for a level 5 to dish out before they start going, well, I really need to start putting my efforts and my strengths into other people. Does that make sense?
It does so much.
Yeah, it makes absolute sense. It really does, and that's a big part of, you know, for us in terms of our teams, Shan, and you know, you want to work and see everybody be successful. But I think Jordan actually put a post out recently, really interesting. You know, you can spend so much time with people to encourage and help them grow, but after a while, if they're not helping themselves, you're better off to move on to help the ones that do want the help and are happy to engage with you.
Correct.
I think that's a really important thing to remember. Yeah. You know.
So we move on to the next one because that's fascinating. Unless you got some more.
Well, I'll just take you back to orange because this is when you are a leader. This is the level that you want to display to people, and you want to be perceived as all of the time. So the problem I see with most people on Facebook and social media like that, they're all too willing that even though they might have, you know, slid back down to a level 2 or a level 3, or, you know, they're hating the world or they're being cynical, don't ever display it publicly. So you want to be perceived as the level 5 optimistic person. You don't want to be perceived as the level 4 that there's a right or a wrong way. You don't want to be perceived as a level 2 that you're just a hard-ass bully, and you don't want to be perceived as a level 2, you know, you're just woo-woo out there making it all lovely with the trees and whatever you're doing. But for a person to lead and for people to look up to them, they need to be at this level 5, and they need, you know, to demonstrate this in all of their posts, in all of their communications, in anything they do. Never ever reveal your level of overwhelm to the people below you. And I used to think that was a really obvious statement, that never to let people see you overwhelmed, but I'm amazed the amount of people to do it. And then what a person that was perceived at level 5 as a leader, the people that are under them go, oh, I'm not sure I want to follow that person anymore or take advice from that person because I just saw them have this big public blow up, you know, and gave me their stuff that they're crying in the corner on Facebook. You know, just don't do it. I'm begging you, don't do it.
And look, the people who are the leaders in Australia and send out cards, we don't try to post those sort of things, or we try and stay away from that on Facebook, and that's so important. That's a message I'd say to most people. Don't get on there and start complaining about everything. Be positive and take the positive road, because there is a result if you work towards it.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, we'll move on to egalitarian. Egalitarian.
Egalitarian green. Egalitarians are completely the greenie. So most people in the world think they're greenies, but they're level 2. And I say this with all respect again, but it's just the word that popped in my head. They're level 2 tree huggers. So they want to be perceived that they're saving the world, but they don't have, enough money in their back pocket to make a difference. Level 6 people have sorted out all their own problems. They've helped other people along the way. They are way financial enough that they can actually bring something to the table and truly make the world a better place. They can influence government. They can create policy. This is right up there. This is a massive, massive, massive level. So as I said, to get to a level 5, you are doing pretty damn good. And like I said, Ian, you are there. This is a leap up. This is another big leap up. So and if you're not, you never make it to the level where you're changing government policy to make the world a better place. You haven't failed. These are really, really high level kind of thinking that Claire Graves came up with when he came up with this model. So that's what that model is all about. And you can inspire people to want to get that high by, is there anyone in the Send Out Cards whole network that does true green work, like, saving the bears or, a children's fund or something that they talk about, because that's the kind of level that you're inspiring people to want to reach.
I think you'd talk about the Jordan Adlers, because he donates his money from beach money to Kiva and things like that, that's the sort of person. He is that type of person without a doubt. Yeah, and he's a giving person, and he's always there to help people, even though he's the most successful person in the whole company. Yeah.
That is exactly a level 6 person, and you need to a lot of people that are high up don't like to talk about their charitable work because it's personal to them, but I know a lot of people follow that kind of person because of the good work that they do. So you need, even if you have your own small charities, I would talk to people in downline about the kinds of things that I do, because I'm moving, my plan is moving up to level 6 to truly, truly, truly change the world.
Now look, Jordan's attitude is to change the world for all the people in Send Out Cards, and that's the same with Cody Bateman, the founder of the company. He's always looking to make the world a better place and make opportunities for everybody in this company. And, everybody, I think, in the company respects them without a doubt.
Fantastic.
So you got anything there, Kate?
That's what everyone's aiming.
No, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? Yeah, that's great.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
Level 7.
So as I said, that's the kind of levels you're talking about. These are 2 levels that we're going right up into the, integrative is changing the world, and then integrating spiritualism into this as well. So then you're starting to talk about the Dalai Lamas of the world, I guess. Changing the world, but in a religious, spiritual kind of way. So changing people's mindset. So that goes beyond what we're talking about, and so does Turquoise, way above. I don't think there's ever been a defined Turquoise person on the earth. I think somebody once threw Jesus Christ out as an example. I'm not sure, but they're just talking. This is like so high level that nobody's actually been able to name one yet. So to get to a level 6, like Jordan and Cody, the kind of people you're talking about, is an incredible feat, incredible. So the 2 levels above are there because they're there, but we're talking about, you would try and get most people in Send Out Cards who would be an incredible leader, an incredible person to follow, to reach level 5 entrepreneurial is an insanely good place to be.
So if we're going to be the true leaders in this company, we should be probably trying to get to the Jordans, to the green section. Is that where we're really being successful?
You want to be so successful that you can actually truly give back and make a difference in the world in a real, tangible, positive kind of way.
So if we come across somebody in the field that we're talking to every day, how can we identify somebody that is a potential level 6 or 5, 6 or 7? How do we identify those sort of people? Is
Well,
is that evident early in the piece, or is that something that develops as people go along and become more knowledgeable, experienced, and understand what they're doing?
I think you would realise, because you know they're successful, but there's a very humble quality about them. They don't talk themselves up. They're not out to prove, because proving is, you can tell, is way back down in 3 and 4. Yeah, it's either the bully archetype and look at all the stuff I've done, and, you know, the proud peacocky kind of thing. It's look at me, look at me. And it's like, well, what have you done? What are your results? Oh, not much. So you can tell they're back down the bottom of the spiral. But if you're talking to someone and they're just really giving in their conversation, they're really listening, and they walked away and you went, oh, you know, that person, you know, just blah, 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 whatever they just did, and you went, holy dooly, I just met a 6. I just know I just met a 6.
I just went to a networking group again today with Big Al Schreider, and a person in another company came up to me, and it was all about me, and straight away I didn't feel comfortable with this person. So where would you put that person in this level of colours? Just interesting.
3.
Yeah.
A red. That's right. Ego.
Yep. Yeah. That's I thought that describes him very much. He was an ego. Yeah. Yeah. And to me, he wasn't a leader. And we talk about in our company not talking about you're making X amount of dollars or anything like that, because that's unrealistic to a lot of people. But he was going down that pathway. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really interesting, isn't it, Shan, just listening to what you're saying there. And I think, you know, with Sendak cards, we're very, very fortunate with the product that we share, because it really is all about the heart and giving out to people. And I think, you know, we often say when we're introducing Sendak cards to people, and you mentioned it before, that we're more than just a team, we're a real family, and you get a real sense of the Sendak cards community, you know, that the people that work, and also the customers as well, because you know, you've got this wonderful gift of being able to send out to people and put heartfelt messages and cards, and it really does make a difference. You know, and I think we're incredibly lucky as a company. Yeah.
So one of the other things there with all these different colours, there's the sort of colours we should be using to send to people that come into those various levels, to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel welcome, to strengthen that relationship with the cards.
Correct. I would, if I didn't know what level the person was at, I would just assume them as a 2. So I would send them something purple-ish. And as I said, these colours are so ingrained in us we're not even aware of it. But as I said, now when you'll be driving around, you'll notice it. And I would start out in purples, and then I would suddenly start, you know, or sorry, not suddenly, gradually start sending someone red cards, and I would kind of subliminally be moving them up the level without them realising, and the messages would start to change a little bit about, you know, are you tired of, you know, not getting out of, or not getting what you want? Yeah, this is how we can use it to connect. So move them up through the colours. So start with the purple and then start sending them some red cards and start talking about that they want more for themselves. And then you move them up into the blue kind of messages, and it's more about, like, you really want to just follow the steps and get the system down to be the absolute very best you can be. And so you can just see the progression and moving them through the different colours, and you'd be amazed at the response, because it's happening subconsciously in the back of their head that they're responding to the colours and to the messages.
You mentioned a word there, subconscious, and Big Al talked about it on the weekend, that our subconscious has already made a decision, and part of the whole process is building that rapport. And I think what you're saying there is that you're building that rapport with them with the right colour, so it's starting to understand what they're all about. And subconsciously, you've already built that relationship with them that hopefully you can actually take them further.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And demonstrating your colour to them. So, you know, demonstrating them the orange or the green, and saying, you know, this is something lovely we did the other day to help such and such. And that gives them something to aspire to move up the spiral toward.
Yeah, because one of the things people buy off people they like, know and trust. And that's part of that process of building that like, know and trust, that I can trust Shan because she understands me. Yeah. Yeah. So, Kate, have you got any more questions? And because I think this has absolutely been fascinating. It's a different way of thinking about it, and it's very intriguing.
It is great. No, I think we've covered just about everything. It's been absolutely fascinating, Shan. So thanks so much for sharing with us.
You are very welcome.
So if you've got anything else you'd like to say, Shan, or any little tips and hints that people in Send Out Cards can take away from you, what's something that's important with spiral dynamics?
No, I will put I'll put a little kind of handout of this stuff together to send to you, Ian, if you want to distribute. That would be helpful to people, just so they can have it as a little cheat sheet. So when they're choosing cards and thinking what kind of level person am I talking to, and how can I help them move along, and maybe think about the kind of level they're at. And if anybody wants to talk to me more about spiral dynamics, I'm so into it, as you can tell. I'm more than happy to chat to anyone that wants to learn a bit more.
So if they wanted to find you on the web, they could just look up your accountability buddy and contact you through there as well?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep. And look, anybody that wants any information, this leaf flyer that Shan is going to send to me, send the email to socasiapacific@gmail.com. I'll put that up in a sec, and we'll forward it on to you. I've just got a question here. Can the 8 slides be shown again? Looks like Shan is going to do it. Not quite sure what that is. Yep. So that's what you're going to share.
You haven't seen the slides, but I'm sending you a handout, so you'll get that anyway, yeah?
Okay, beautiful. Righto. With that, Shan, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It has been fascinating and a different light on it, and great way to understand what people are all about and where they come from and how to probably relate to them. So I really do appreciate you joining us tonight, and I think everybody that has been on and anybody that listens to this, they'll take a lot away from it. So thanks, Shan. Kate?
Thank you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to have you, Shan. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So as we always do, we do a little bit of housekeeping just to finish off with upcoming events. Next Sunday's Asia Pacific webinar is the same time, same place, and we have Lee Cummins, who is a senior manager in Melbourne. She was one of the Circle of Champions award winners last year, and she was also nominated for Senior Manager of the Year. She's a great leader, and we're going to hear about her story and what she does, and she's a fascinating person as well. Also, with any estate events, please email them to socasiapacific@gmail.com. and we'll happily promote those on the site here, on the webinar each week. And also make sure your upcoming events are on the SOC event list, and you can also check all those events there as well. Most importantly, next week in Melbourne on Saturday the 21st at the Morty Alex Sporting Club, Melbourne are having their Success Super Saturday, and one of their special guests is Tom Big Al Schreider. He'll be coming along at the end of the day, and I've had the pleasure of seeing him on both Saturday and Sunday this weekend, and if you can get to Melbourne, whether you're 3 or 4 hours away, I would make that effort because you will take so much away from it. And on the same day, Perth are having their Super Saturday at the Piney Lakes Environmental Centre in Winthrop from 1 to 4 p.m. Contact Vince and Rick. They will fill you in with all the details as well, and that is great to see events happening in Western Australia. We have our next Super Saturday in Sydney at Parramatta RSL on March 14th. And that will be a great day. Then Tessa Stowe, our executive, is heading off to Salt Lake City this Wednesday to learn all about relationship marketing, and she's going to do a day on relationship marketing with Send Out Cards, and that's where Send Out Cards is going in a big way this year. So I'd encourage everybody to book a ticket, get to Brisbane, make sure you're there because it'll be so important to you, and I think it will drive your business in a huge way. And finally, we have the annual convention in Disneyland this year. It's called The Magic Begins With You, September 9th to 12th, 2015. Kate was there with me this year, and we had a fantastic time. Last year, sorry. Losing track all.
We will be there this year, though.
Yep, and look, I can only say that if you're not going to those sort of events or any events, you're doing yourself a disservice because you learn so much. You take away all the energy, you understand what's going on in Send Out Cards, and that will drive your business. So with that, thank you, Shan. Thank you, Kate. Thank you for everybody for joining us this evening. Hopefully you've taken something away. I have. It's been fascinating. Have a fantastic week in Send Out Cards land. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Ian.